if you find the documentation language quite hard, you can just copy paste it on the chat GPT and write that explain it to me in the layman terms, and chat GPT will explain you like superb anything. I used to study everything from the chat GPT now. Just copy paste and say the chat GPT explain me in simple terms. It will explain you now like in very simple language, giving the real life cross suggestions. And I also used to prepare for my semester exams from that only. And I also ask some basic conceptual questions like if two users will request something like in the Amazon site, when the sale goes on, two users exactly request for the same item that is available one at that time, but you have to allot it to a single user because the one product is only left. So how the flow will goes on if time stamp is exactly same in the milliseconds too. So
Okay, so hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So today we are going to talk with Parul, who got selected into American Express for internship. So today we will be getting insights from us. So let's start with the introduction. So hello Parul.
hello Manish. Yeah, so basically my introduction is I am Parul Chadda, as you can know, and Manish have already introduced. And I'm in my third year from the Banasthali Vidyapeeth University, and my branch is Information Technology. And I have also been a past test assistant educator scholar, and currently I have cracked the summer internship of the SWE role at the American Express.
All right. So you are from a girls' colony. So we would like to know that how the life is in your college.
The life in the Banasthali is kind of something different from the co-ed colleges that boys get to interact with each other and they are free to move anywhere. So there is something, our life is something different, and you can say something tough because we're not allowed to go anywhere. And yeah, but I can say that the people who survived in Banasthali can survive anywhere, and I can say that the culture is very good, the companies and the placements are very good. So that's why I will recommend everyone to, if you are a girl student and looking for the good college with the good placement, so you can join Banasthali if you are not getting selected in the any IITs or not. Companies here are very good, I can say.
All right. So you have also given the IIT exam, right?
No, actually, I haven't given the IIT exam at that time. I'm from the COVID batch, so I didn't plan to do the BTech at that time. But yeah, currently I'm doing the BTech from here because the procedure here is something different other than the giving JEE. The procedure here is the personal entrance of the Banasthali Vidyapeeth, which I have cracked and got admission into here.
Okay. And how was that? Like what?
Uh,
Yeah,
It's the difficulty level was the medium, not at the JEE level. So the selection criteria was something based on the 10th, 12th percentage, and also on the basis of the personal interest that and according to the ranks we are allotted our branches.
Okay. And how do you feel like about education in your college?
I can say the teachers are very good. The professors teach very well. They give their 100%, and something like not in the all colleges that sometimes in the private colleges it's that teachers come and don't teach, but here the teachers give their 100% to teach, and I can say that they give their best that every student get what they are teaching actually.
All right. And do they have attendance criteria?
Yeah, we have an attendance criteria of maintaining at least 70%, not 75, but at least 70%. We have a criteria of that.
All right. Then. So now let's talk about MX. So how did you apply for it?
For the MX, it's the company which come on campus. As I told you that all the good companies visits Banasthali, so it's the company which visits the on campus. So it was sent by our TNP, the details of the test. MX shortlisted some 600 to 700 students for giving the test on their own internal criteria basis that the students will be giving the coding interview. So the coding interview was scheduled on the 16th of August, and its results got out in the 19th of August, and after that 2 interviews were there. So I got to know about my TNP, about this internship from my TNP.
All right. And how many rounds were there in your process?
The rounds was first the coding round, in which the coding questions were there. So first is from the array, second is from the priority queue, and third is from the graphs, kind of Dijkstra algorithm, I can say. So it was something like standard problem of the Dijkstra. And another is the 2 rounds of the interview. First is the purely technical round, and second is the HR plus something technical round. And in my interview, they asked something about the system designing, about what I was totally unaware, but I tackled it anyhow.
All right. And what about, was there any HR round?
Yeah, it was the second round was the HR round plus the project discussion round, I can say. It was not the purely HR round in which they ask about the company or about my goals in the life, but also about my project, my resume, all the things I have mentioned in that technically details.
All right. So they asked questions related to your projects, right? So
Yeah.
would you explain a bit about this round? Like, how was that?
Okay, so about the second round, first round is the purely technical with which the DSA was asked. So for the second round, about my projects, they firstly asked me from my resume that what's my experience mentioned as I introduced you in my introduction that I'm a DSA scholar. So they asked me about the experience for the D. Shaw and Company, that what work I have done, what the things I have learned from that mentorship, and what experience I got from there. And in that mentorship, I made a project. One of my major project is the push, I can say. So in that project, the working is goes like that. It's the portal for the donor and needy of the books, in which a donor can donate the books, list out their books which are not you or they in of their use, and the needies can request them, and the needies will get in the donor section, and in the needy section, donors when log in, the page will display all the pages, all the books listed by the donor at that time. And for the needies, the books available will all be the listed by all the donors, and the needy can choose and request for that book, and they will be allotted a book at that time according to the timestamp they have requested or the request number, I can say. So, and there was also a community platform and a learning hub platform in that, in which all the ebooks were present, and I can say that they were connected with all the digital libraries and the APIs of the books of the PDFs. And another is the community section where they can discuss their doubts and all these things. And my second project was Ability Assist, I named it, and it was for helping the people with the disabilities, like it can zoom the PDF to the people who have viewer specs and something, and a kind of voice to speech, speech to text. These features are there in that, but they haven't asked me from that project much questions. They asked me questions like from my first project, that why I have used that particular tech stack. I use the React.js, MySQL, and the Flask. So they asked just why only Flask, why not Django? So the questions were tackled in that way, how the flow goes on. And another is a project that I made it when which I have mentioned in my resume at that time. So it was a project that I made in a hackathon. So they asked that how have you made the payment section in that, how the flow will go on, and another follow-up questions related to that.
All right. So that was all about this round, right?
Yeah. In this round, no, about this round, there were some more things also there. So it was a project discussion, the experience discussion, and something about this only, and another they asked something system designing kind of thing. So they asked me to design a library management system at that time only, that what should be the things that will be there in the navbar, how to log in as an, I replied that we can log in as an admin as a student. The flow will goes on that the admin will list out the books, the student will request it, and then it will be removed from the database at that time and will not be available to other students. So the kind of system, it was something different that I have heard in my interview, because as I have read all the previous interview experiences from the Geeks for Geeks portal, so it wasn't mentioned anywhere that anything will be asked from the system design, but it was asked. And they also asked some basic conceptual questions, like if two users will request something like in the Amazon site, when the sale goes on, to users exactly request for the same item that is available one at that time, but you have to allot it to a single user because the one product is only left. So how the flow will goes on, if timestamp is exactly same in the milliseconds too, so the answer will be, it will be a randomizer something. We can use a random function, so it will be something random. It can be allotted to anyone. So that was the answer. Yeah, and they asked in the HR round, as it was a HR round too, so they asked about the values of the Amex. What do I know about Amex? Why I am interested to join that, and something. And also they asked me what are the opportunities you see in yourself. So I asked that what do you really mean by this question, that what are the opportunities? So they had told me that what do you think that you have to improve the technically and non-technically too. So it goes like that.
All right, so you have explained very well about your interview rounds. So now we can go how did you prepare for this internship?
So I basically prepared not something for a particular internship. When the intern season starts for the summer internship, I started doing preparation in the May, June itself when my summer vacation was going on. So I started doing the lead code questions, and at the last moment I have gone through all the top 75 and top 150 lead code questions. And also from the, I can really recommend that I have done Striver's A to Z DSA sheet. So it was totally helpful for starting out for a beginner to start the DSA. So it will be from the easy level to the back hard level or the advanced level. So I prepared from that and have seen many videos of this Striver too. So yeah, it was like the practice is the only key to get to hands-on on the DSA. And also I prepared the CS fundamental for my technical round interview, as it was the first round, so it was compulsory to clear that.
All right, and since when you are preparing lead code?
I'm doing lead code from the when my first year ended. So after the May, June, I got to introduce about from my seniors about the lead code, DSA and all these things. So I have done all the lead code and grinded it in my second year.
All right, and how many questions do you do in a day?
In a day, I can say after the internship, the number got reduced. But in the starting, I do like 5, 6, and now currently I do 1 to 2 questions a day.
Okay. Parul, some students find the lead code a bit difficult to do start. So what do you suggest to them?
I would suggest, as I suggest everyone to my juniors, I would really suggest that if you are not able to do a problem, don't get decided first that you will not be able to do or you will not be able to get the approach. First, look at the question, try to get the approach for the just 15 to 20 minutes. And still, if you are not getting an approach, try to go on the solution. Don't go and just copy paste all the solution and all. I can say that the solution, that if you are able to understand it, get the approach or not, and if it's still you are not getting the approach, you can just go on the YouTube, write that question name, and you can understand that approach, and now try to write the code yourself. If not, you are able to get it, then go on the solution section of the lead code and see that what code is written, how the flow is goes on, but don't just copy paste the code. I can say that just read the code and try to write it by yourself.
Okay, so you mean after trying 12 or 12 times, if you fail, so
yeah, if someone will fail, if the flow will go on like this, after 1 month you will do automatically to get to know the approach and all. Start from the easy problems itself, not just go directly to the medium or hard level. Start from the easy one. As soon as you gain the confidence, you will be able to do it.
And from where you learned DSA?
I just learned DSA from mixing all the resources. Like जहाँ से अच्छा लगता है वहाँ से पढ़ लेती हूँ. So, but it's like I started from the Code Help by Lovebobo. From that, I got to know about the lead code and the habit of practicing the questions on the lead code and how to write the questions. That it's kind of like a problem for all the students that they get to make the programs in the college by doing this like I do in the CPP. So it's print, see out options, but in the lead code and in the GFG portal, I can say that there is not something like print. We only have to write the logics. So I got to know how we have to approach the question, how we have to exactly write and lead code, what the interface is all about from the code help by log by only. So I started from that series, continued till the strings, and after that studied something from my college. Also, as I told you that my professors are very good, so I got to study about the DSA from the college itself only, and also again I continued for the higher topics like graphs, DP from the Striver,
All right.
and also from the DSC by Abdi Bari. I studied from that.
Okay. Now, from where you did learn like web development or the tech for your project?
Okay, the tech is something I always prefer the official documentation for learning any new tech stack, because official documentation will be all updated. Because the YouTube videos, I can say that if you are not able to get something from the documentation, then only refer to the YouTube. Because I can say that if students get to study about a new tech stack from the YouTube, so they get bored very easily. As I also used to sleep at that time जब मैं ऐसे YouTube से पढ़ती थी, तो documentation is something I can say कि आपका ध्यान उसमें रहता है, so you can learn it more quickly. And if you are not able to grasp it that particular topic, then you can go on the YouTube. It will save a lot of time for you, and you will be also updated with the changes in the technology, because YouTube videos if uploaded they can be 2 years, 3 years back. So the documentation is the only thing I can say to learn a new tech stack. So I have studied on that.
All right. And most of the students don't do this. Like they don't read documentation and they only goes for videos. So
Yeah.
what will you suggest? Like they also find it quite difficult to read documentation. So what will you suggest for them?
I can say that there are much more AI tools. If you find the documentation language quite hard, you can just copy paste it on the ChatGPT and write that explain it to me in the layman terms, and ChatGPT will explain you like superb anything. I used to study everything from the ChatGPT now. Just copy paste and say the ChatGPT explain me in simple terms. It will explain you now like in very simple language, giving the real life suggestions. And I also used to prepare for my semester exams from that only, and like I have maintained 9.81 CGPA till now. So it's all because of ChatGPT. I have studied from that.
Great. Okay. Okay, great. You have given a cool suggestion like ChatGPT make everything easy. So
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so let's move on like your DASIS scholar. So what is it and how did you prepare for it, and what was the criteria of applying it, and what did you do in it?
Okay, so the criteria was only it, as you know that there is something the women in tech is currently promoted nowadays. So it's a kind of mentorship for the women students who are currently they are in their second years or in their third years of the BTech. Okay, so it's the 6 months mentorship program offered by the Isha and company, in which you will get to know about the industry technologies and what are the important things that you must know on the hands-on experience for all those things. And at last, they will ask you to maintain a project, and you will make a major project in which you will get to know about how the things actually works. So I can say that if you are a woman in tech, so it's the best scholarship anyone can ever crack.
All right. And what was the criteria of correcting it?
The criteria was something key at the initial starting process. They select the resume. Almost 90 to 95% people will get the test link. After that, the test link was the coding questions only. The coding questions will be there, and there are something of hard difficulty level, I can say medium to hard difficulty level. And after that, they shortlist the students for the technical round interview, and after that followed by a HR round interview. So in technical round interview, it was only DSC. All the approaches were asked to me in the second year itself, as they don't expect a second year student to write up the whole code, but they expect from a third year student to write up the whole code and the pseudocode if they ask in the technical interviews. And after that, HR round is there, so it's quite simple.
All right. And you also mentioned a major project in it. So what did you make there?
I told you about that I made a Pustak Coach project, the project I told you in the AMX. So it was that.
All right. And were there also some more minor projects you have made?
Minor projects is I have done by my personal, not by any mentorship program. So I have mentioned all those two projects which I mentioned in my resume, and there are something very little management system, something to do when I was learning the web development and all. So these three were the something projects that can be mentioned in my resume and have points to be explained about. That's why I mentioned all those. And other than the CPP projects, something Java projects, and some like normal simple that the people teach in the college are there on my GitHub. I will share you the link. You can see that what are the projects. And recently I have made a project in the object detection using the YOLO algorithm. So it was a car counter, something using the region of interest by masking the region in which I have to count the cars. It will not count the object which are truck or like bike, but it will only count. So it will if we will combine it with a real-time camera processing, so it can be very good for the traffic management. And also there is something a variation of that. The second project for the object detection is the people counter and how many people are going on through that particular video with it will count and tell you.
Okay. And from when your MX internship will start?
My MX internship will start in the May and start in the May, and it's for the 2 months, so it will be in the May and June of the 2024.
Okay, you mean next year?
Yeah, next year, after the completion of my third year.
Okay, and how's your third year going?
It's quite cool. Like now I'm selected, so the pressure got reduced, and now I'm something to be here.
What about your CG?
My CG is currently 9.81.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many hours do you study in a day?
I can say 2 to 3, and for the semesters, it's as you know that engineering is all about studying a day before. So for the semester and exam, I study 15 days before. And for my periodicals, like in my college, mid-sems are not there. We used to give 2 periodical exams. So for that, I just prepare for the 3-4 days before the exams and then exams.
Right. What are your college timings?
9 to 5 only.
5 boring. How many classes do you have done?
I attend almost every of them because maintaining attendance is compulsory here, otherwise they will debar you from giving the exams or just give it back to you like that. It will, the subject will not be completed at that semester and you will give that exam after the 1 year.
Okay, so are you enjoying your college?
No, I can't say, really can't say anything.
Okay, so what did you feel that when you joined Vanastani, like after your school life?
After my school life, my 1 year was online. So I was from the COVID batch, so the college didn't open in my first year. I came here in the second year. That's that only, and started getting to know about the internships, placement, asking for that. So my second year went like that. I started this studying, and now I'm currently free and enjoying my college life with my friends and all.
Well, right, Parul. So we have got many insights from you, like about your interview experience of MX and about your preparation, about your college. So we are about to conclude the session. So we would like to know some suggestions from you to students, like how they should prepare and what are the suggestions you would like to give them.
Okay, so I will give some suggestions like that. It's not something I can say not motivational, but I can say it from my experience that consistency is the only key. Sometimes you get rejection, you might face rejection after doing all the questions, doing all the things, but it's not always about grabbing all the opportunities. It's the one opportunity you need to get success in your life, and the consistency is the only part. As you are in the BTech, so be consistent in the DSA because the DSA is the most important something, expect to crack a good MNC. And if you're going in a startup, you can just go be best at the development part, and that's all for you. But for going in a MNC or something big companies, so you must practice TSA, because the first criteria for the selection is that only. And having patience and consistency is the only thing.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. At last, I would like to thanks to you, Paru. You have given your precious times for us. Hope students will learn a lot from this podcast. So thanks once again.
Okay, thank you so much for giving me a chance to share my experience, Manish. That's nice to talk to you. Thank you.
All right. So thanks, everyone.